I'm gonna let you guys watch this tank for a bit without me saying anything because I just set this up about, I guess, 24 hours ago. The fish came in mostly yesterday. So the tank was set up, I think I put the water in here about 36 hours ago, and I brought fish plus water from my fish room. So let's look at that for a bit. So there's somebody already watching and joining in. What's going on, Ybor? Well, I'm moving tomorrow morning, so I can't really live stream tomorrow morning, so I figured I'm going to live stream today and give you guys and girls an update on what's going on, what happened in the last 24 hours, what we brought over, and how everybody's doing. So these are some of the fish that I brought mostly yesterday. I brought some more today that are in here also. It's just a holding tank. What's going on, Ralph? Oh, they're right here. So these are some of the fish that I brought over from the old house into the new house. I really like these two. They're like one of my favorite fish. So these are some of the fish that I don't actually show on the channel too often, actually, because they're usually in the bottom tanks breeding and stuff like that. This gold laser was born in my facility a few years back. You know, I had them breeding for a bit, then they were just like in a holding tank with some other fish, and so they stopped breeding, but it's still there, so we're doing well. Beautiful fish, really nice looking fish actually. There's like 4 or 5 of those guys here in this tank. There's some other fish. These are silver flying foxes, so they're very rare. The regular flying fox is also pretty rare now in the hobby. You don't really see them that often. These guys are even rarer. They're pretty fish, and they're quite large. One jumped out yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember when you were live streaming yesterday. One of these guys jumped out. I was in the other room, but I heard it. I think it's this one here. That's one right there. What's going on, Ryan? Longfield Lagoon. Holla, I'm still setting up too. Yeah, bro. My back is hurting right now. I still have to bring so much stuff over. There's 20 tanks. 22 actually at the old house, mostly big tanks. And I just came out of the shower like not too long ago. And I don't have any of my normal products here, nothing. No hair products, no comb. Usually I don't really use hair products, but I use a comb, but I don't have that today. So you guys are going to have to deal with my messy hair. There we go. Attaboy. Anywho, your office is a fish room. This is a bedroom fish room. So these are some of the fish that I brought over. There's some other tanks here that don't have any fish yet. I gotta put some lights on those. I just plugged this light on actually right now to make this video. There's another tank. We'll go over to the other room. We'll look at all the tanks actually. There's a bunch of tanks set up here. So there's, I don't know exactly how many. You guys can count and let me know. Comment and let me know. And if you're watching this, give me a thumbs up. Replay crew, let me know you're the replay crew, and give it a thumbs up. And so basically we set up a bunch of tanks here. There's also tanks right here that I just brought today. There's 5 here, I think. Yeah, there's 5 here. They're 15-gallon longs. So they're beautiful tanks. These are 30 gallons. They're 30 inches long and they're about 18 inches tall. So they're pretty tanks. I really like this size tank, you know, really works really well. These are temporary. This is just to hold fish. And essentially I have other tanks set up on the other side. We'll go look at those just now. What we're doing is setting up some tanks here. There's 22 tanks that are running at the old facility that are still full of fish, expensive fish that I don't want to move yet. So I'm setting these up here and moving those slowly as time goes. You know what I mean? But I did bring a lot of the angels over. I still have a bunch of pairs. I think there's 2, 4, 5. There's the Ultims. So there's at least 5 pairs there, plus the Ultims that I have to bring over. Those are like my nice pairs. I brought the Platinums today. I brought all my Platinums today. I have the tank cycled. I brought the babies over. You guys can see them in a second. We'll go over there and look at those in a second, okay? We'll go. Actually, let's go over there right now and look at all the baby fish that we brought over. But everybody joining in right now, look at the fish we brought today. Actually, most of these came in yesterday, but some of these came in today also. And if you're watching this right now, give it a thumbs up. What's going on, guys and girls? Yeah, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out quite a bit when you guys like the videos and streams and stuff. And it also helps with the algorithm and get this to other people like this. And also, if you are following along this entire process, we will be documenting the entire process of setting up. So if you want to set up a fish room, a fish house, a few tanks, whatever, follow along, because we're going to be setting up a lot of tanks. There's going to be tanks back here. There's going to be tanks in the next room. There's going to be a lot of tanks in the next room, actually. That's where I'm going to be YouTubing from. We'll go look at that in a second. And so yeah, follow along, because we're going to show exactly how we set up the air system, the manifolds, the water change system downstairs. Up here, I'm going to still do manual water changes, because I don't trust automatic water changes on a wood floor. I don't want to ruin the floor. I like this floor. It's really pretty. So I really don't want to have anything happen to it. So I'm going to do my best, which is like anally best. Like I have OCD when it comes down to this type of stuff. So I'll do buckets up here. So I'm not worried about that. But downstairs in the basement, we're going to have an auto water change system. The person I got this place with already has the whole thing planned in his head. And the fish room that he bought to put down there is coming with the entire water change system already, and full plumbing, as well as a trickle filter and everything, so we can set that whole thing up without an issue in the basement, because there's so many drains down there and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, like there's so many options. So that's a good thing. So we'll go look at some of the tanks just now, right now. And anybody joining in right now, look at the tank I set up here. Pretty straightforward setup. I brought 2 sponge filters. This one's not even running right now. I only have 1 air pump here, so it's right plugged in. You know what I mean? It's very makeshift. I haven't teared down my big air system, so I'm just using the air pumps that I had like laying around. There's some of them are not working. You know what I mean? So there's like a lot of like things I'm working around, but I got it working. So we'll go to the other side. We'll set up over there. But yeah, let's give this a final look-see, because I like this tank. I was sitting here drinking a beer for the last like 20 minutes or so, watching these fish. Not necessarily, no. We're gonna have just automatic water changes in the basement. That's it. So this is the other room. We'll look at all the tanks. There's a lot of tanks with fish already in it. These tanks already have fish. This tank has fish. There's no lights up here yet, but there's one light I set up just to film for you guys. I just got the plug set up, like it's a mess up here, but you know what I mean? Like this is what's happening right now, live footage. I would not be able to live stream today at 3 o'clock like I normally do regularly, but that's why I'm doing this live stream right now. So you guys and girls can get to see how this is all being done over a period of like almost like a month or 2. This has been already going on for about 3 weeks, this whole process, since we got the place. So now we already have fish in tanks and stuff. This is a pair of German rams. These were bred by Michael, which is Fish Easy. I bought these off of him like a while back. I bought like 100 and I kept like 2 or 3 pairs for myself. So these are some of the fish that he bred at his facility, Gorgeous fish, look at that. Oh my god, this is like perfect. Like if you think about German rams, like in textbooks and stuff, this is how they look like. You know, like I've read textbooks when I was a kid, and this is what I used to see and dream about getting when I was like very young. So now I have them in my fish room, so which is really nice. God is good. You know, if you're watching this right now, give it a thumbs up and comment below. If you believe in God, say God is good. You know, so there's another pair of angelfish that I brought over. Very beautiful. So they're doing great. There's a bunch of corridoras in here. Obviously, I'm going to split them up once once I have tanks set up and filters running and stuff on the bottom here. This is pretty cool actually. There's parrotfish in here with babies. So I'll try to show you a little bit of the babies. I don't know if I'll show on camera, but can you see them? It's difficult to film down there, so it's not gonna be. I'll get lights up in here soon. But yeah, there's some baby fish down there. Mom and dad traveled well, and I had the babies and the mom and dad in a bucket at the same time. They just started swimming today, so the baby fish, and I moved the whole thing, the mom and dad and the babies. What's going on, S? What's going on, Jonasy? Jonasy's fish room. What's going on? What's going on, George? Aqua balls in the house. What's going on, S? Kidder, dude. Jonasy says I'm breeding L333 at the moment. Make what temperature do you think I should drop water to when I'm doing? I would say because depending on where the L33 comes from, there's variations of temperature. Even within a species, there's a variation. So I would say like you can drop it down to about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's if it's in Celsius. I don't have my calculator in front of me. Usually I have like the strips with both the Celsius and the Fahrenheit, but right now, oh there it is, I have one. So 80 is 26.5. So like 26.5 to 27 Celsius, or 80 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on how high you have it already. Let's say if you have it at like 85, you can drop it at 82 and they'll probably spawn. You know, so it's pretty subjective in that context too. Like there's a play within the species. So because I keep my zebra plecos at like 85, I drop it to 83, they spawn. It is what it is. You know what I mean? All my spawns happen between 82 and 83. Well, not every single time either, because there's still times when, like the big pair, for example, they spawn at like 81 and a half ish. So the temperature really has to drop for them. So it depends on the individual fish too. Like Fish Easy explained this to me the other day, and it makes sense because I watch Discovery Channel. I don't know if you guys watch the Discovery Channel. We'll look at some fish while we'll talk about this. But in a species, there's a variation, you know. Like so, not everybody breeds exactly at the same time. Most fish will breed exactly like close to each other, because that increases the chance of survival for the fry. But you know, some will breed earlier, some will breed a little later. You know. 8 me. Happy to see you. Nice. What's going on, Christopher? What's going on, Richard? What's going on? Yes, I have bred a lot of Epistogramma species. What's going on, Heather? Did I hear food now? Yo, those flying foxes are really pretty. We'll go over and look at them in a second for everybody that's joining in. So today we're going to look at all the fish that I brought over, okay? So these are some of the fish. Oh yeah, Fido just texted me and said I used up 75% of my data. So I'm going to add some more data tomorrow because I'm live streaming for you guys and girls. And I'm using up all my data to do this. What's going on, Richard? Alright, let's move the light over and look at this fish here. Okay, so let's look at this thing. I have a lot of fish that I brought over. So there it is. Whoop, there it is. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna stop acting a fool. And alright. So there's fish in that tank too. Can you guys see them? Yeah. Nice. I just brought these guys over too today. Not every single one actually. There was some of them I brought over yesterday, and then I brought the rest over today. And a lot of these are pairs. Like they're also hanging out together, so I know who's who. I know who's paired up with who. But it's nice to have this kind of communal stuff happening every once in a while because that kind of reinforces the pair bonding. They kind of stick to each other once they're paired up, which is cool, you know, which I kind of like. And so it kind of works. But then I also have like the bigger pairs over here. So they came through pretty nicely. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Here, I'm gonna show you guys something. This is actually, I felt really nice when I did this. Look at that. Remember this? These babies, all of them traveled perfectly well. No casualties, no issues. Like I don't know how many there is, but like every single one traveled completely fine. Like here, let me set up the camera and I'll put the light on it after. Okay? Alright. Give me like 30 seconds. I'm gonna show you guys this. This is super cool. It's like honestly like I felt really happy when at the end of this one. This is the first tank I did like that I wanted to like actually spend my time doing it. So I did it perfectly. So look, everybody came over perfectly. Can you guys see them? Look at that. Mommy and daddy, or I guess surrogate mommy and daddy, are doing great. They've been eating all day today. I fed them. Everything turned out perfect with this tank. Praise God. I'm very happy. Everybody came over. No issues, no problems, no casualties. So far through this entire thing, I've only lost like one fish. In entirety, like so far. But I mean, obviously, that's not going to be the case. Like, but I'm pretty happy. And the fish I lost was an angelfish also. It was one of the fish I brought over like a couple of days ago, and it was like a really weak one. It didn't travel well. It died the day after, so that was pretty sad. But these babies, like, there was no casualties in here so far. It's been like 24 plus hours now. They've been here already, so I'm not too worried. But let's look at them again. Ta-da! They are pretty. There's so many of them too. The whole thing traveled so well, like the entire group. They were in separate buckets, and mom and dad were in one bucket, and the babies were in another bucket. And I had the bucket sealed inside a cooler, and just drove over in the truck. And there they are. Let me put my phone right there so you guys can see them. What you guys think? Let me get back on the chat. Thank you, Igor. For breeding, so I mean, depends on the fish, right? How often do I feed my fish? So George is asking about the pistos. It depends on the species. We're gonna get a few different species of pistos. There's a species of dwarf pike cichlids that you know, like my partner was interested in. We were at the pet store today, just like driving by, and he was driving me to pick up the truck, right? So a lot of things have gone wrong so far too. Like I know I haven't complained on Facebook or anything or anywhere, but that's because I always stay calm and stay positive through this entire thing. It's really hot in here. I'm gonna take off my army sweater. It says army on it. Look, it's actually military issued. I mean, not that I was in the military, but these were from the military surplus store. I have a lot of military gear and stuff. See, it's from the surplus store. And so, anyways, it's really hot. So basically, what happened so far? The truck broke down twice. And then finally today they came and towed it because I couldn't drive it. For the last 24 hours I haven't been able to do anything. Not the last 24 hours, I guess before they towed it. So then I had to go and pick up a new truck at before 4 o'clock today. And then I only got there at about 3:35 or 3:40 in the afternoon. And I picked up the truck, and the new one, the one that was here that was not working, got, you know, they towed it. back to the Ford dealership, and went and picked up the new one. Went back to the house, emptied like 7 or 8 tanks, packed them in the truck. All the fish that I was gonna bring today, packed them all like these guys here. Like I brought all of these today. So white cloud minnows, Tinnictus albanubus, real deal. This is actually pure strain Tinnictus albanubus. I've had these for forever. Some of these big ones are like super duper old. You can see their backs all bent, and they're like this girl here is old. Like she's probably like 10, 12 years old. She's been with me forever. Like I remember her being like that at least for a couple of years now. So she was a normal fish before, you know. And I've had these guys forever. And they breed. Some of the small ones are babies that just are born in the tank with them. They survive in the tanks. It's like a self-perpetuating colony. I'm going to try to summer tub these guys in the summer. I have tubs outside that I've brought over, 3 25-gallon tubs. So we're going to try and summer tub these guys. So stay tuned for that update. We're going to do a lot of fun things here. This space is huge. And there's a lot of space, and there's a lot of fish that we want to get. Like, you know, fun stuff. Not just for profit, but like, you know, a lot of them will make profit. Like, I mean, if I'm going to do something, it's going to be profitable. Like, that's the way I look at it. If it's not going to be profitable or going to create food and sustainability and some type of benefit to my life or to the world, then I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? It's just pointless, right? So, here we are. This guy's up front. Let's look at him real quickly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a big boy. Look at him. I bred this fish. This is my cousin's fish. Like, I don't own this fish. I'm just babysitting this guy until my cousin gets back from vacation. But both of them, they're a pair. Yeah, cherry shrimp are great. What's going on, Gucci? Oh, I didn't even know it had 3.3 million views. That's amazing. That's crazy, bro. Thank you. How you been, Gucci? Haven't seen you in a couple of days. What's going on, Kushel? Thanks, D-Towel. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. But welcome. And stick around. I'm getting a pistols? Yeah, yes, definitely. Let's not say a pistols only. Because I want like cool stuff. Like pike cichlids, like mini dwarf pike cichlids, you know, the ones that turn red and stuff. Checkerboard cichlids, which are, I forgot their scientific name now. I'm drawing, like, I'm so tired. Like, I've been going for like 3 days straight with like barely any sleep. You know, I was falling asleep on the wheel yesterday driving here. Before the truck finally broke down, and then I was like, I was so happy that I finally got here because I just need to get the truck here. Got them because I had it full with like stuff. Didn't have any fish in it yesterday at the time. I didn't have space for the fish, the buckets, and I couldn't get the truck started because I always do this, okay? I pack the fish into buckets, I put air stones in, or sponge filters essentially from the tank into the bucket with the airline. If it's like a few fish, if it's 2 fish, I just put the air stone, like if it's a pair, and I leave it by the tank. That's what I've been doing. And then I drain the tank, whatever I need to do, or I pack everything else that I need to pack, like all my stuff, you know, that I need to bring over, all the little paraphernalia attached to fish keeping, you know, all that. I did all of that, and I packed the entire truck 3/4 of the way. And then I tried to start it because I was like, okay, I'm ready to go now. So now all I'm going to do is start the truck, run upstairs, bring all the buckets, put it all in, close the door, go upstairs, wash my face, you know what I mean, clean up, change my outfit, just because I don't want to be wearing this. It's even, like, I've been changing my outfits like 3 times a day just because, you know, like, I'm sweating so much, like, doing all this stuff. So, yeah, like, I do that and jump in the truck, let's go, right? This was around 12 o'clock in the afternoon because I was supposed to meet the person that I got this place with, the other partner, and pick up the tanks, the small tanks from another fish room that he purchased. But in doing so, I was supposed to leave at 12. right? I didn't get to leave at 12 because the truck didn't start at 12. So I was like, holy shit, the truck's not starting. So this happened the day before also. So I had the battery pack, the jumper cables, everything in the truck ready to go. So first I plugged the battery pack, tried to start it, didn't work. So I was like, nah, the battery pack's not working, it's too small for the truck. But the battery pack should work, that's what the technician uses, right? So then my friend came in with her car, plugged it in at like 2 o'clock and tried to boost it, right? So in the 2 hours from 12 to 2, I was doing work in the house trying to figure it out because I had to call somebody, have them call me, whatever. So I called my friend. I don't have a CAA membership, so I'm not gonna pay like CAA like $100 to come and boost the car that's not my own, right? So my friend came and tried to boost it. That didn't work. Then I called Roadside from the rental company, did all that. You know what I mean? They came and started the car finally, so that around 3 o'clock, 3:30, I got to leave. You know what I mean? And then it was rush hour. So I got here around 5 o'clock. So hour and a half drive, you know what I mean? Which should have been like a 45-minute drive. And gets here and unpack the truck, whatever, just chill and whatever. So then I set up a bunch of tanks. And you can see back here all this. I brought fish over yesterday, so all these guys, some of these guys came yesterday. You know what I mean? So like whatever. And then the truck didn't start again, so then I'm stuck here. You know what I mean? Today morning I got it towed out and whatever. So this all happened, and I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is I tried to stay positive through the whole thing, and I told myself it's God's plan. It's not like something that I have to worry about. It's all gonna work out perfectly. So I just stayed calm and positive, and I just kept working the entire time. Even today, when I went in the morning, I plugged it in and I called the neighbor. I asked him, can you help me start the truck? So he brought his truck over, like he has a big, like a Lincoln SUV. So he pulled it like in front of mine, the van, the Transit, the Ford 250, and he goes, let's plug it in with the jumper cable. So he plugged it in this morning at like 10 o'clock, and we tried starting it. Didn't work, so I called roadside assistance, and they sent a tow truck. That came at 12 o'clock. So from 10 to 12, I was doing work up here, and then once they came and they picked up the truck, it took me like an hour to get it all set up. I had to call back roadside assistance, clear it with them, call back the rental company, clear it with them, because this truck is not mine. I can't just have somebody tow it anywhere. You know what I mean? Even the guy said you have to call them and all this stuff. So I went through all that, and then went back to the rental company. My partner was good enough to come and pick me up, drive me back to the rental company, which is when we went to the pet store. Went to the pet store, seen all these fish that had come in. So we're like all goo gaga trying to pick up fish, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna come back in a couple of days, have some more tanks set up and pick up the fish. So that's what's been going on. Let's look at some of the baby fish again. Oh, my dog is freaking out. It's crazy. There we go. There's the dog. Alright, so these guys came in yesterday, 24 hours here now, doing great. These guys came in today, also doing great. Everybody's hanging out. They're looking for food or whatever. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But the filter's working obviously, so there's no issues or anything. I'm not worried. These guys are at the bottom, so everything is good. Life is good. Life is good. Most of these came in yesterday. I brought more in today that are here. So there's about 6 fish in here yesterday. There's about 12 fish in here today, I think. Let's try counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 fish in here today. That's not bad. There's a couple of pairs. It's at least 3 or 4 pairs that are here that I need to separate into their own tanks, which I have tanks down here. You guys can see that, right? And then there's fish in this tank too. I think there's a pair of fish in here. I can't remember what I put in here. So let's put a light on it and see what we have in there. Alright, we'll put fish in here. Alright, there we go. Oh, there's the platinum and the red pearl scale female. So there she is. Hold on, I'm trying to get. Okay.